Kia ora, welcome back everybody. Here with another reaction to Mr. DJ Shipley on the Shawn Ryan show. So let's jump straight in.
Fuck. Let's take a break.
Yep.
That was heavy.
Fuck, man.
All right, man. So we're back. That was a pretty fucking devastating deployment. But you came back and a little bit of good happened. You met your wife.
Yep.
So how did that happen?
So after 2005, we had the Red Wings thing go down, and most of the wives stayed local. So we all stayed there. Now, a bunch of them lived offshore drive, so that became just our running crew. We'd go over there and do family dinners at Laura McGreevy's house all the time, and it just became a big melting pot of Gold Star families. And I met Patsy through them. So, yeah, never met her before. Didn't know Danny. Didn't know any of that. I'd seen her for, a 5-minute segment before. And, yeah, Gold Star community kind of brought us together, which was pretty taboo.
Let me backtrack just real quick, because the audience doesn't know this. So you eventually wound up marrying Patsy, who previously was married to Danny Dietz, who died in Operation Red Wings. So she's a Gold Star.
Yep.
So,
yeah, which at the time was it was taboo. Like, nobody did that. They this is gonna sound bad, but I'll say it. We kind of wrote them off, like they're untouchable. Once your husband dies, like you can't date again. And I know team guys did it. I did it too. You judge them like, how long are they supposed to wait? Do they wait 10 years? Like, you can't judge people for that. You have no idea what they're going through. And kind of the school of thought where I came up in the teams. I fell in love with her right off the bat, and I didn't give a shit if she was Gold Star or not.
Hey, I'm going to jump in here. I love this conversation that DJ's sharing now, and I love that Shawn Ryan has backtracked just to give context and clarity for us, because I wasn't sure. I have heard one of the kind supporters of the channel did put in the comments, and I think he said, "Oh, sorry if I spoilt it." I said, "No, you haven't spoilt it." So he did mention that DJ married a lady by the name of Patsy, who was the wife of another man who died in that Operation's Red Wings operation or task. And just hearing him speak about it, and I could understand, the perception that that's taboo. They're off limits. Like, you can't, you shouldn't do that. You can't do that. But just hearing DJ, how long are they supposed to wait? We don't know. You and I don't know what that individual's going through, what, how they're feeling, how they're trying to process I'm guessing here, the loneliness that they're feeling. The emptiness, the loss, all of that sort of stuff is part of it. It doesn't diminish any of that. But again, I reiterate, we're skin and bone, flesh and blood. Like I'm just glad that DJ and his wife, I'm assuming, Patsy, that they are together, that they've fallen in love. And you just heard him say that I think he fell for her straight away, and it didn't matter that she was Gold Star. I think Gold Star is in relation to, and somebody will correct me because I don't know this part. Actually, no, I'm not even going to try and explain what Gold Star is. I do think it's something to do with when a family member of yours that has been serving has passed away. But that's as much as what I think it is. There's probably a heck of a lot more to it than that. So somebody will probably put that in, or I'll do some research later. But I know for myself, and this is just me speaking for me, I had already spoken with my wife. I know that I would want her to be happy. I would want her to have somebody that could continue to provide for her, to protect her, to look after her and the children. And that if she fell in love again, if I had passed away, I would 100% want her to find somebody else that could do those things and be those things for her and for the children. As long as that person loved her and loved the children, I'm gone. I'm out of the picture. But she would still be here and needing to carry on. And yeah, she'd probably have the strength to carry on by herself. I don't doubt it. But for me, I would have preferred personally for her to have somebody else to be there with her if it wasn't going to be me. So I love hearing DJ's thoughts and feelings. that's understandable. He spoke about, I think, judging other people, maybe even judging the spouse of, the person that is deceased. But man, when you meet somebody and things, you feel the sparks or whatever you want to call it, and then you fall in love, like, run with it. That's what I'd say. Run with it.
And I caught hate for it. I did. Had to answer some tough questions. I didn't care.
What was it about her that you liked so much?
Her understanding. She got it. She knew exactly what it was. Reality had smacked her. Her stepdad was a SEAL. So she'd been in the Navy. She knew the commitment. And she served herself. Like, she knew exactly what it was. She knew what her deployment was, and she knew the reality of it. I didn't have to explain it to her. I feel like that's a big thing in the teams is people marry their high school sweetheart after you've been gone for 4 years and you come back, and she has no idea that you're going to be gone 250 plus days out of every year. Like, she has no idea you're going to come home with, 3 weeks of nasty ass laundry, drop it off, and leave for a 2-week training trip. I didn't have to explain that to her. She already knew, and she was bought in. So it made that transition so easy because she was as dedicated as I was.
You know what? There's just more great context. First, what a legacy and history of his now wife, Patsy. Her service, her father or stepfather, something like that, serving, was a Navy SEAL as well. Her partner that she married, like, she knows the routine, knows the commitment, knows the requirements. And then being with DJ. Love the fact that, he spoke about, he caught some hate for it, had to answer some tough questions, didn't care. Like as I touched on earlier, like, go for it, get after it. The part that stands out for me, and this is something that my mum shared with me when I was early into my military career, a lot of wisdom, I suppose, in what my mum said, even though I didn't think anything of it at the time. Like, I didn't grow up within a mother and father, a husband and wife relationship. It was just my mum and I. And so I never saw that. I never saw what a typical home or family should look like, or what one should feel like. But one thing that I remember my mum saying to me when I was in the infantry here in NZ, saying, make sure you marry a lady that's in the army. And she then went on to say, because she will understand what it is that you're going through and what it is that you need to do. My mum never served in the army. My mum never had anything to do with the military or defence force or anything like that. But it's always stuck with me, the wisdom that my mum had then and still has now. And I thought nothing else. I was like, yeah, whatever, mum. I didn't say that to her because next time I saw her, I probably would have got a hiding. But I just acknowledged, okay, mum. But to be honest, for myself, I never saw myself being married, never saw myself having children. I saw myself being a 20-plus year career person in the Defence Force and serving the majority of that time within the SAS. That was the trajectory that I had mapped out for my career in the Defence Force. And marriage was not a part of it. Not even ending up with a partner was part of it. So I didn't see that because I didn't grow up around it, didn't feel it, didn't observe it. And so I guess that was my norm. That's what I considered to be normal. Now, having had the privilege to be with my wife, who she did serve in the army, she served in the logistics and administrative area and part of the army. Just, I see now as I connect the dots back, my mum's comments and wisdom. My wife, she's like DJ is talking about. She has been by my side and understood everything. She's understood the commitment right from the get-go, right from the jump, before I even did selection in New Zealand. She understood how much it meant to me, what I wanted to do, and when I threw my toys out of the cot and decided to go to Australia, she was like, yep, I'll come. She goes, you go get settled, do what you need to do, we'll come over, post all that sort of stuff needed to be confirmed first, and then they'll come over. And she did. She would have likely done the same in the UK, although she did mention, well, you go, we'll stay here in Perth. So that aspect I could understand her wanting to stay in Perth rather than moving over to the UK. Again, at that stage, I didn't feel that it would affect me as much because I would have been in the unit. well, this is me thinking positively, like I'm going to serve in Tutu, and it probably won't affect me that much because I'll be traveling away for work and that sort of thing. Never considered my wife or the children and another foreign country that I was prepared to take them to or get them to come, or that I just naturally assumed she would pick up and come with me because she had been so supportive of me the whole time. She still would have been supportive, but I needed to put the brakes on, and it was a bit of a reality check for me, a bit of a light bulb moment, and thankfully it happened. But yeah, I didn't go there at the end, and that doesn't matter. But I love what DJ has been speaking about, and just the fact that his now wife was also serving. I think there's a lot of value in that. I think there is genuinely a lot of value. I do know of people that have got their partners who were never in the military, and they go on to have very successful, loving relationships enduring right through the times in the SAS and times post. So it is possible, but I am grateful for the information that my mum gave, or her recommendation, and I'm grateful that I met my sweetheart.
She really let me obsess. Like, she knew where I had to go to get to the level I wanted to get, and she encouraged it. So yeah, I mean, she saved me for sure.
How long were you guys dating before you got engaged?
About a year and a half, so.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
So you met her pretty much right when you got home?
Yeah.
And then by the end of the next workup?
By the next workup, I think it was Thanksgiving that year or something like that. Proposed to her in front of her whole family, my whole family, and the community kind of erupted in a positive way. It was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude, it was as it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I hope you heard him say that she let him obsess over his work. She knew what it meant to him. 100%, I can relate to that. My wife allowed me to obsess over my work. I would go to work. I think she's mentioned this before when she was being interviewed by my brother-in-law. I would go to work, and I was in the regiment, do my work, and I was still bringing work home with me. Go out into the garage and then do some more work, whether it was on my kit, whether it was on reviewing stuff of what I needed to get ready or how I should have things, whether it was looking at things of how I could be better and what I could get to be better. She really did. It consumed me, and I loved it. But at the cost of being home but not home for me personally. And only in hindsight, reflection, going far out, man, look at that time that I'll never get back. But have been grateful for the patience and grace that she has given to me, and grateful, to be honest, as well, that our children were that young that they don't remember any of that stuff. So, but still, I remember it. But yeah, she let him obsess. That's a powerful thing, man, and it's not easy for your spouse or partner to do when you're coming into it. It's not impossible. So I'll say that again. It's not impossible, but it's not easy. It's definitely not easy to allow that. And I'm not saying that his wife, Patsy, found it easy. My wife definitely didn't find it easy. My wife, just speaking for me, she just knew how important it was to me, and she let me run with it, which, yeah, forever grateful for that.
So on this trip home, it sounds like it was pretty eventful. You met your wife, you got engaged, you screened for Green Team.
Yep. Started my third workup. I was in a very I was riding an emotional roller coaster daily. I just was. I was drinking back then a lot. Just trying to numb my senses. I didn't care what it was. Luckily, I never did anything really stupid. Definitely had my moments. That was the only thing I knew. I didn't know what else to do. People that I could talk to wouldn't talk. Other people that had been exposed to similar things, they put up this facade like, "What's wrong with you?" So I did the exact same thing. I walled it up like, nope. I won't even address that. I won't address any of these feelings I have. I won't address the anxiety. My performance anxiety going into like that 2008, 2009 year was through the roof. like having panic attacks, and I didn't know what they were. I thought I was having little mini strokes. If you haven't had one, it's alarming. Like just sitting down in a cold sweat. Yeah, I have no idea what's coming over me right now, but I know it's not good. And I know I can't say anything to anybody because they'll pull me out of this job. And that's not happening. So we have to do what we do, suffer in silence. Just be quiet and continue doing your job. And that's what you have to do.
A lot of powerful information in that there with what Mr. Shipley's just spoken about. And it just made me think about one of the supporters on the channel, Mr. Tuki, over in Perth, Western Australia. I mentioned him briefly in another video that I did the other day. Excuse me, speaking about PTSD. He's doing some awesome work over there at the moment in their PTSD space. Sorry about that. Went down the wrong hole. And just listening to DJ speaking about and expressing the feelings and the emotions and just the information that's going on in his head. That hasn't, don't worry, I'm not dying. That hasn't been able to be filtered or processed properly. That's crazy. The mini strokes and the cold sweats and sitting there not knowing what's going on. Man, that's hard, eh? Not surprising considering what he's just spoken about so far in the earlier reactions if you've watched those. But there's a heck of a lot of what he's talking about there with the performance anxiety. You've already got anxiety about your performance. You want to perform. You're amongst some of the best operators or the best people in the world within your team in an SF unit. And you want to perform at the highest level, at least on par. And if you can exceed that, then you want to try to do that every single day. There's pressure. There's inherent pressure that comes with that territory by itself without any of the added stress or concern of relationships, how people are perceiving you, the past experiences that have been massively heavy in regards to what DJ and his team has been through. And having all of that extra weight on you and the fear of potentially if I voice this, if I talk about it, I'm going to be pulled out of the team. And like you said, that's not going to happen. So walling that up and suffering in silence. I just want to reiterate what Mr. Tuki mentioned over in Perth, Western Australia, that it is okay to ask for help. And so anybody out there that is struggling, I'm going to plug this piece in here right now. If you are struggling, you don't have to be a former SF operator. You don't even have to be a former Defence Force member. The people that I've been fortunate to meet with, not all of them are former Defence Force members. I've just been lucky enough to meet with some people that have got no military experience, but for whatever reason have been drawn to and or have liked a little bit about my channel. And so I've been privileged to spend some time, share some time and space with them and try to give some input in a positive way, hopefully, to make a difference for them for the better going forward. And so I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I have to still work with them. But coming back to what Tuki mentioned, yeah, it's okay to ask for help, man. And if you need it, guys and girls, then please reach out. Reach out to whoever that is, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, whether it's a stranger, like some of the people that have felt comfortable enough to reach out to me. I'm grateful for that. Don't know them from a bar of soap. And it has been extremely humbling to have that experience and to see the courage of these people reach out to somebody that they don't know. So yeah, love what DJ's sharing here. Sad also though at the same time listening to what's been clearly going on or what was going on for him. But we all have our struggles, and we're all going through stuff. I'll keep reiterating that. We all are. So do what you need to do, reach out as you need to get help if you need it.
Fortunately for me, right around that time we started a new workup, and I got a new platoon chief who used to be over at the command. His name's Barrett, and he was everything I needed. Like, I mean, you couldn't have molded a better dude at that moment in time for me. He talked the talk, he walked the walk, and he performed. And he was nasty. He was because usually, guys they have a shelf life, and they don't, your platoon chief or your troop chief isn't making the entries every time. He doesn't need to be the best shot anymore because he's command and controlling everything. It wasn't like that with that dude. He outperformed everybody. And he basically set the bar at what development group is supposed to be. And like, that's what it became. Like, I can't outshoot him. I can't out PT him. I don't know more about CQB than him. I don't have the combat experience he does. And it humbled you, which is exactly what I needed. Exactly what everybody needed. We needed to see the insight. I needed to see what you could accomplish if you went all the way.
That is so cool to hear DJ speak about this individual that was there for him, talking about how nasty he was in the most positive and respectful way imaginable, and you can hear sort of a bit of an insight there. He's not out shooting him, doesn't have the combat experience, he's not as good at CQB as him. And even though he's in that position of command and control and organizing, he's still leading the charge, leading the push, and that's inspiring to hear. How can you not want to get better when you've got leaders like that still leading from the front and earning their place every single day within the unit? That's awesome to hear. Hey, I'm going to wrap up this video here. It's a little under 23 minutes right now. Well, probably it'll be less than that by the time I edit some of the stuff. Really loving this. I'll probably try to make them a bit shorter, around the 20-25 minute mark if I can going forward. But hopefully you've got something out of what DJ's been sharing here. I know I do. I know I have every single time. And I know he's been helping me, as well as many of the other people that I've been reacting to, have really helped me take some action and put things in order and do things better in my own personal life and situation, and within my family life, and within just simply trying to chase my goals and do what it is that I want to do. And so I appreciate that. I'm grateful for this. Grateful for all of you out there that have been kind enough to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share. Even if you haven't done those things and you've just quietly watched and then just moved on, appreciate you taking some time, spending some time here. Every little bit helps for me anyway, and the eventual plans and growth and progression of this channel. So thank you very much. As always, any challenges, any obstacles that you may be going through, any difficulties, hardships, whatever those things are, keep turning up, keep staying in the fight, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and just take one more step. Better days are ahead. There is a light over the horizon, and the sun will shine again. Go always a little further. Remember, who dares wins. And as always, from me to you, until the next video, a big mana wave.